Today I'm here with some more Dr. Mario World, and yes, I'm still camping. I will be for a while. All the Dr. Mario World videos this week and next week will probably have this poor audio with the wind and stuff in the background, so I really do apologize, but there's not much I can do unless you want to wait to get some of these videos, so I might as well just put them out. Sorry for the bad audio quality. But today we had a much different experience. I think these levels are just easier in general. But I beat them all without items, unlike the previous set. I did hear that the next 5 levels have some difficult levels in them, and hopefully I can do them just fine. I'm a little more patient on the next ones. I really just want to get that video out today. I'll be a little bit more patient with the next ones, and I should be able to beat them all without using items, and then I'll try to go back to those other 2 levels like I said. Also, sorry for not talking about this level all that much, but my strategy here was to bring in Baby Peach and the Womp King so I can get as many points as I can. You do need quite a lot of points to 3-star this one, so that was my best plan. I do not remember if I get like King Buddha's trigger or something. But we're having a pretty good round here, and you really just want to aim for the bombs as often as you can. There's going to be a vehicle going by here in a second. It's probably going to be pretty loud, just a heads up. So we do get King Buddha trigger, which is good. And then we're just working our way through the rest. Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to get 3 stars without King Buddha triggering. It does seem like there's more points needed than there actually are. If you kind of look here, I only needed that much. I think maybe the cutoff is around 30,000 or so. So all in all, not too bad. Okay, anyways, moving on to the next level. This one, it suggested bringing Boo, and I was going to bring in Fire Rosalina, but I think Boo is probably the better choice. You get a skill quite often, and if you happen to get a miss, you just use his skill again next time, and he'll probably hit that section for you anyways. You know, if you were to use like Fire Rosalina instead, you would get her skill less, and if she would happen to do poorly, then you'd have to wait a lot longer to get it again. But it starts off with the top left corner, and then the bottom right corner, and then the top right corner, and then the bottom left corner. And yes, I do say, when I say bottom, most people would say top, just for clarification. So now that I've opened this area, I think to just leave this red for a little bit and try to get these coins done too, so that if King Boo happens to hit those in the bottom, he'll actually hit the coins as well, which he didn't. So that's a little sad, but we just bring some other things over there. At this point, after I clear like one more of these, I decide to leave these 2 because I assume that King Boo will probably destroy them for me. And then I just work on the coins here, because I really do need to make sure that I clear it with enough points, enough capsules remaining and everything. I get a couple more points from those yellows, and then we clear it with 7, which was enough, thankfully. Again, these do not have a lot of points within them, so you don't need to end with a lot. I think I was probably right on the cusp of 3 stars, like a little bit less, I probably wouldn't have gotten it. But I also had some mess ups and some poor Boo hits, so keep that in mind as well. And we move right in with Fire Rosalina, and she actually does pretty well. I decided to switch out of King Boo and Bomb Boo just because I hate having to rely on them. And also, there are quite a lot of viruses in this one, so I figured probably it'd be a better bet to bring them in if I want to get 3 stars. And I did a good job, I guess. I do come in with the rainbow capsules, which is a little cheap, but I try to use them as nicely as possible. Try not to be too cheap. And I go for that lock right away, which the rainbow capsules do allow you to do, which is very nice. And then I probably go for... Okay, I don't remember what I go for, but there are some cannons that are going to spawn in, or I think there's a chance that cannons will spawn in those question mark blocks. And for me, I don't think it's the same every time, but for me it lined up really well to hit the things around the fans, which is really nice. Just so you don't have to hit the things around the fans and freeze more things than you have to. So that was my plan, to have it hit all of those things, but unfortunately this one didn't go so well, and the one far up against the right wall does not have anything lined up with it, so you're going to have to clear that yourself somehow. And I neglected it, which is probably a really bad idea, but what I decided to end up doing, by the way, also getting an amazing hit with Fire Rosalina. That is a perfect thing, and the entire reason why you bring her in the first place. But I decided to leave that last part for Fire Rosalina to hit, those 3 that are in between the fans there, just because I think that's probably the easiest way to go. If only Rosalina had hit that section a little better, it would have went a lot smoother in the long run. But we're still able to hit that bomb pretty easily and destroy the rest of this stuff. You can see I'm going to get 3 stars already before I even do anything. I think, yeah, so I already have her skill, but I decided to hold off because I want to make sure she hits the ones I want her to hit. Now, it is entirely possible that she would hit like 2 of them or 1 of them and just leave the others, which would be really annoying, but thankfully she didn't do that. So, all in all, it worked out pretty well. Ended with 2 capsules remaining, which is alright. Could have done a little better for sure if I was just a little bit more cautious, but that's fine. And now we move in, but going back to Wario again. I think we switch off of him possibly in the next one anyways. And Wario's probably not the best one for this one. I don't even remember how I won this specific round. I was really just like, I don't think Wario's the best for this at all, but if I get a lucky round, I guarantee I could get 3 stars, and that's literally just what happened. But there are some strategies you can do as well that can guarantee you this. And also, I messed up so bad with that yellow there. That is not at all what I wanted to do. I could have got rid of both those yellows immediately and just had like an even easier time, but I kind of messed it up, and that's my bad. So we had to, I still really like the idea of doing it, so I just decided to make like a makeshift version of it. Here comes another car, by the way. It'll be loud for a second. But yeah, I just wedged some yellows in between there and let the red fall, and only decided to destroy the reds in the middle here. The thing about leaving those reds on the sides is that you can use them to get into those areas much easier once the coins open up. So I would definitely suggest doing that. Like right here, it's going to open up. Now that those reds are there, I can so easily just get to the rest of the viruses that are underneath once I destroy the reds. So I would definitely recommend leaving some, if possible, because it just makes it easier in the long run. And to be fair, I played this stage many times and I didn't do that a bunch of times, and this time I happened to and it worked out. But also I got some pretty lucky moves at the end here with that double yellow, and then I'm able to get these couple as well pretty quickly. And I wasn't sure if 6 was going to be enough. It might have been another one where it was cutting it very close. I'm not entirely sure. There aren't a lot of points tied to that one, so I actually was probably over it by a couple thousand. But still. We move on to the next one. And for some reason I had a little bit of a hard time, and then this one just went really well. So I don't know what specifically happened those first 2 times. I might have just been clearing things too early and not letting the stage scroll. I think that might be the case. So keep that in mind when you're playing, to make sure the stage is scrolling, especially towards the end. And I'll explain that a little bit once we get there. But it kind of sets it up for you to clear this beginning section very easily. I feel like it's actually harder to clear with the rainbow capsules, just because it doesn't allow you to do it the most sensible way. I was able to clear a lot of great stuff with Lemmy's skill and was left with this left. I probably should have waited to use Lemmy's skill at this next part, to be fair, but it does make it very easy to get these first couple of bombs blown up. The nice thing about Lemmy in this section specifically is that those barrels can be really annoying to get to when you're playing it regularly. I played with Wario first, and that section is really, really annoying and eats up quite a lot of your capsules. And if you bring in Lemmy, it just saves you quite a lot. Because you only have to hit 1 or 2 of the bombs, and then pretty much everything explodes. Everything else, it's really nice. You can kind of see that take effect right there. Just everything went away all at once. It was great. And now I hit these barrels as the stage scrolled, which allows pretty much all of them to be destroyed, and leaving these last few rows to line up really nicely. Now, I start blowing up some of these bombs. I would highly recommend not blowing them up until the stage scrolls, like seriously. It's going to be in your best interest to leave them for a second. And using Lemmy's skill here would not be so great as well, because those electric bombs open up, and you're going to want him to be able to hit the bottom row of stuff with the electric bombs as well. It happened to work out for me, but seriously, just let the stage scroll before you destroy those lines of barrels, especially if you're bringing in Lemmy. But right here, it's going to go fine. Everything is lined up super nicely for me. I don't remember if the viruses are random at this section or if they're always going to look like this. But either way, that makes it super easy to clear, especially with like some of the doubles I get. I really hope that he would destroy that yellow for me. It would just make my job a lot easier, and I probably should have just waited to use it until the yellow was the final one. I legitimately could have lost, actually, because of that. But it's fine. We made it through. And like I said, no items on this one, thankfully. I'm really happy we're able to get through it. Hopefully the next set goes well, too. I've heard some things that maybe lead to it not going so well. I don't know. But wish me luck. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.